Coming up on The Shield, Valpo continues to be a leader in international education.
And the administration is accepting student ideas for Valpo's future.
Just like last week, we have a cold front off to our west. But stay tuned to my full forecast and I'll let you know why this cold front is different from ones we normally see.
Good evening. Outreach continues to be the focus of many student activities. I'm Justin Thompson-Gee.
And I'm Lauren Winnie-Gotbreath. That story is first here on The Shield. Members of the Valpo community, including students, continue efforts to help the world community by packaging meals for the hunger relief organization Kids Against Hunger. Each packed meal contains the recommended daily amount of vitamin and mineral intake and 6 servings of food that has a shelf life of 3 years. Last year, over 400 students, faculty, and staff helped out to pack over 100,000 meals. This year, exactly 96,678 meals were packaged. According to many of those at the event, it was a very worthwhile experience.
The inspiration behind what we do comes from the fact that every day, 14,000 kids around the world die of hunger, and that keeps us going. That gives us a lot of passion to help those kids, and we're able to pair up with families of all ages. We had a 5-year-old helping here today, and we have people in their 80s, and so a wide variety of ages, lots of different generations of families coming together, and they make a difference. They make a difference with their own hands.
Those who participated in the event at Valpo packaged more than any other event in the Midwest. In addition to packing food, students also walked in the Crop Walk, which is done to raise awareness for world hunger, and members of the Greek community dressed in clothes and shoes of the opposite sex to raise awareness for rape, sexual assault, and gender violence.
Students involved with Alliance, Valpo's LGBT organization, listened to the coming out stories of their members on Wednesday, in association with National Coming Out Day. The event involved a soapbox which readers would stand on and read their coming out story to the group. It is one of Alliance's larger events of the year, and numerous allies and others attended the annual event.
Valparaiso University is looking for input from students who can help create the next big change on campus. It's all part of the Big Idea Initiative. Anyone from the university community can submit his or her ideas through the Valpo website. Ideas can include anything from broad recruitment planning to specific changes in dining service meals. Dick Maddox, Special Assistant to the President for Community Relation and Institutional Strategy, said the submissions will be considered for the next comprehensive fundraising campaign.
What this is really is a strong belief that students, faculty, and staff, all who work here, are thinking and caring about this place, and they have creativity. And we should tap into it and not just assume that the formal processes are going to develop all the good ideas. What we're looking for is something that will advance the mission of the university, basically give us a competitive advantage, be exciting and transformative.
Deadline for the submission is October 15th. They will first undergo a 3-week screening process. If passed, proposals will then enter an 18-month evaluation and planning stage by the Board of Directors in January.
The theater is beginning to see some action. Students had been preparing for the first production of the semester, Almost Maine. The comedy takes place in the middle of a mystical town called Almost Maine, in the middle of a bleak, snowy winter. The production begins tonight at 8 and continues at the same time on Thursday and Friday, with additional performances on Saturday and Sunday at 2 in the afternoon. Tickets may be purchased at the Center for the Arts ticket office. We are going to go ahead and take a quick break.
When we come back, we'll have more local news and sports and a look at the rest of the week's weather.
Life, and we're on VUTV.
I'm Rachel Bacher, and I'm on VUTV.
We're Mock Trial, and we're on VUTV.
We're Student Alumni Association, and we're on VUTV.
We're the Acapellas. We're on VUTV.
I'm Dave Klein, and I'm on VUTV.
Welcome back. From the Shield Sports Desk, I'm Drew Taylor. The men's soccer team was on the road to face the number 17 Butler Bulldogs last Friday, and the Crusaders held their own as they ended regulation with a score of 0-0. After a scoreless first overtime, the Bulldogs broke through and found the back of the net in the 108th minute of play as Connor Burt put a header in the right corner. Final score was Butler 1, Valpo nothing. Their road trip continued with another Horizon League matchup against Loyola of Chicago on Sunday. The Brown and Gold again battled tough but couldn't find the back of the net as they lost 1-0. After this weekend, the Crusader record is 6-3-1 and 1-3 in conference play. The VU football team was also in action this weekend as they traveled to take on Dayton on Saturday. Let's take a look at the highlights. This Nate Gorgon 58-yard TD pass to Sean McCarty ties the game at 7-7. During the ensuing kickoff, Gary Hunter goes 82 yards for a Flyers touchdown. Dayton now leads 14-7. Valpo with a chance to score inside the Dayton 5-yard line. Chris Gihan dropped for a 5-yard loss on 4th down, giving the ball back to Dayton. Mike Pando had a chance to bring the Crusaders within 11 points at the end of the first half, but missed the field goal wide left. The second half was all Dayton. Steve Valentino passed to Tyler Hugic for 24 yards, bringing the Flyers down to the Valpo 26-yard line and setting up a 5-yard touchdown run by Tyler Harris to give Dayton the 28-7 lead. Dayton would score one last time on a 69-yard rush by Andrew Zapinski, 48-14 after missing the point-after attempt. Next up for the VU squad is a home game this Saturday, October 9th, against Marist at 1 p.m. The Valpo volleyball team took their 13-2 record into Milwaukee last Friday. The Crusaders and Panthers were tied at 2 sets apiece, but Milwaukee would win in the 5th set 15-13 to seal the victory 3-2. The team stayed in Wisconsin for another Horizon League matchup against UW Green Bay on Saturday. Valpo won the 1st, 2nd, and 4th sets on their way to a 3-1 victory. Switching gears to Crusader women's soccer, they were in action last Friday as they hosted Loyola of Chicago. The first half was a tight 0-0 draw with chances from both teams. This shot on goal by Tracy Roots gets saved by Rambler goalkeeper Katie Gresh. Tara Ellis hits the post just before the half to keep the score at 0-0. Coming out in the second half, the momentum did not carry over as Loyola came out and scored in the 68th minute of play. Maggie Doe puts one into the upper left corner past Christian Mansky for a 1-0 Loyola lead. Valpo would end up taking the loss 1-0 after a close battle all game. They then looked to avenge Friday's loss with a trip to Butler. It was a defensive struggle in the first half that turned sloppy as the Crusaders were fouled into the box, setting up a penalty kick for Casey Peterson, which she buried to give Valpo the 1-0 lead versus arch-rival Butler. Butler came out quickly in the second half as Mansky is forced to make a save here to maintain the 1-0 advantage. Rachel Hoagland nearly extends the Crusader lead with a shot off the crossbar. Butler, with one last chance, is thwarted by Mansky as she makes the save on Rachel Melendez to preserve the 1-0 win for the Crusaders. That was Mansky's 4th shutout of the year, and that puts the Crusader record to 5-5-3 and 1-2 within Horizon League play. The team will travel to Wisconsin this weekend to take on Milwaukee on Friday and UW Green Bay on Sunday. That's all from the Shield Sports Desk. I'm Drew Taylor.
Thanks, Drew. It's the time of year when many families and friends are going apple and pumpkin picking.
That's right, but will the weather cooperate? We send it over to meteorologist Dan Giroux for a look at the weather.
As we get closer to November, we're only going to see more leaves change their colors. Unfortunately for us right now, that's not the case, and this map helps show that. We're in an area that does not have too many leaves changing color, only a few trees and a few spotty areas. If you're interested in that, however, you're going to want to head to the north, like northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, or even into northern Michigan. That's where you're going to get a lot of beautiful scenery because numerous trees are changing over there. For us right now, we're keeping an eye on this cold front. Now, there is something interesting about this. See this high right here? It's actually keeping the cold front from tapping into some Gulf moisture. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically it just means there's no precipitation associated with that cold front. And that's good news for us because as it moves off to our east for Thursday, that means we won't be seeing any rain. And that will set up for a beautiful weekend as high pressure dominates behind this. And by Saturday, as this moves into Michigan, we are going to have a fantastic weekend. And that's good news for folks because, well, it's family weekend here in Valpo. And Valpo will be playing the Marist Red Riders. Start time at 1 o'clock. We'll get up to 70 degrees for the start of the game. And we will be sunny throughout the day, so it will be a perfect day to get out and watch a football game. And I urge you to do that. Now, folks, if you ever watched that movie Groundhog Day, you know, the one with Bill Murray where every day is the same, you're going to like this 5-day forecast. Every single day is going to be sunny and mild with highs in the mid-70s for the weekend. It will be beautiful and a great opportunity for families to come out and just enjoy Valpo. So please do that this weekend. For The Shield, I'm meteorologist Dan Giroux.
Thanks, Dan.
In more Valpo news, the university has begun to take strides towards becoming more cross-cultural. 2 events occurred over the weekend to foster this growth. On Saturday night, the Hispanic Heritage Month dinner occurred and commemorated Mexico's bicentennial. Latinos in Valparaiso for Excellence, better known as Alive, sponsored the dinner and was pleased with the turnout. In addition to the dinner, Valpo also held the first ever multi-ethnic festival. The event encouraged students to explore different cultures. Lots of cultural food and music, as well as ethnic art and jewelry was for sale during the festival, which was free to all.
Valparaiso University was recently selected to be one of a dozen of American universities to pilot the Iraqi Student Initiative program, in which Iraqi scholars study in American schools and then return to their home country towards rebuilding Iraq. This fall, a handful of students have enrolled at Valpo, and their experience has been eye-opening for not only them, but the entire Valpo community. The Shield's Haley Just has more.
This fall, the Valparaiso University community was joined by a handful of students from Iraq who are coming to study for a higher degree.
The Iraqi education program was established by Iraqi citizens after they realized the need to build up their education system after they haven't been able to invest in it in the last 30 years. The program as it is now is set up to bring over Iraqi students to U.S. universities to study here for a degree program. These students would be fully funded by the Iraqi government to study a degree and then return back home. And so Valpo's role is then to be a host university for these students. And Valpo's particular role, I think, is key because we're such a welcoming community for these students.
I have a bachelor in Iraq in law, but here I would like to study my major general international law. The work in Iraq embassy, but I like the work. I would like the work here in Iraq embassy in Washington, because I loved this pupil United States.
The addition of the Iraqi students to the Valparaiso University community will be a new and exciting adventure for all.
I think the benefit is with bringing any international student to our campus is it enriches our community and the diversity that we have on campus. And just to have someone from another part of the world talking to our students here, that's an opportunity for learning and for growth.
For The Shield, I'm Haley Just.
Valparaiso University is continuing to look at ways to advance higher education in nations all over the globe.
That's all on this edition of The Shield. I'm Justin Thompson-Gee.
And I'm Lauren Winnie-Gopreath. Have a great night, Valpo.